Hey Scorpio, hope you guys are doing well. This is going to be a general reading for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The three decks that I'm going to be pulling you cards from are the Illuminated Rider-Waite Tarot for the basic messages. For any clarifying messages that I need, I'm going to be pulling from the Halloween deck in honor of Halloween here in the States on the 31st, which is going Mercury is going retrograde in your sign on that very special day. And then we have your crowning energy is going to come from Black Moon Tarot. So why don't we get started on that? Pull your crowning energy and let's get right into this. See what we have going on. Scorpio, you are the sign of the month. These aspects are all over you. You're all over them. And you're just in the minds and hearts of every person on this planet right now. Very Scorpionic vibe. Incredible energy, incredible depth, and incredible ability to regenerate things that we need regenerated. So let's see what we have coming up as your crowning energy. Oh, beautiful. Look at this, Scorpio, the sun. Beautiful. First of all, this is the card of, I want to live, I want to thrive. No other, well, I'm going to call it a planet for the sake of the tarot reading. The sun is not a planet, but nothing shows up more positively in a tarot deck than the sun. It just doesn't, and it also illuminates the entire reading. So we're going into it knowing that this is really great. This is about inspiration and creativity that's going to enable you to make things materialize in your life right now. So some of you may be, whether it's that you're in front of a group or just even in your everyday. I don't even want to make it that complicated or that dramatic. You're just going to be having this increased sense of confidence, which is really, really great. Very progressive energy here. And it definitely foretells like prodigious things happening for you on the horizon. Things are going your way, okay? But leadership on your part is going to be necessary right now. It's time to act in this energy. Really get in touch with what you want for yourself and forge forward in that direction, because the energy completely supports you bringing this to yourself. This is all about manifesting. Really great stuff. I'm so happy that this is your crowning. And, someone emailed me last month asking, why do you do the crowning energies? Why do you do that talking in the beginning? Well, I do a part for you and part for myself, to be honest with you, because it helps ground me in where Spirit wants me to go with the messages, because there are so many ways that we can understand the cards. And I like to ground my energy in what is Spirit really wants me to work with regarding you, right? So that is the very quick explanation of that. And I am loving that I'm going to be grounded in the sun doing this reading. Okay, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm glad you got the sun, only because this is not the easiest month. It really isn't. I mean, because we have the energy of Libra, which is all about relationships, and then your energy, which is all about just deep. I mean, Scorpio, you guys know you are the deepest water sign. It's depth. It's regeneration. It's rebuilding. It's getting to the bottom of the belly of the pot and scraping whatever is out from there. And it's so necessary, right? We all really need to do that. So a lot of transits are happening. I'll mention them throughout the reading. This is the first time I'm filming on my phone, guys, by the way, so I hope it's not wonky or it doesn't cut out. Some of the signs it's going great with, some not so great. So if it ends up cutting out, I'll put a part 2, and I just have to figure it out by next month. All right, let me just make sure you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to be pulling two cards, one for you and one for a person that you're dealing with or a situation external to you. And this is going to be in the past. This is the present. Okay. This is where your mind is at. And this is your fear. All right. And when we're finished with this, I'm going to sweep this, and then I'm going to do a spread for your blockages and your outcomes. And I've had people ask me, what's the difference between a blockage and a fear? A fear is very mental. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's not, right? It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is it's something that it's scaring you, right, into doing or not doing something, whereas a blockage is something that could literally be in your way, literally, and we'll talk about that more when we get to it. But let's talk about the Magician reverse for you in the past. So, Scorpio, this tells me that either you were maybe taking advice from the wrong people, making some poor choices for yourself in your past, finding yourself in situations that you knew intuitively weren't the best for you, but because of alternate reasons that you rationalized in your mind, you found yourself in. That could be with a person in a relationship, but you could even be in a job where, even though it was going against your best judgment, you were working somewhere. Maybe it was just for the paycheck, but whatever it wasn't speaking to your soul, okay? You just weren't making the best choices to make things happen for you in the way that you really see for yourself, right? But at the same time, I see you. The reason I like it here, and the fact that it's just even on, in the spread, is that there's recognition. I feel like there is recognition of you realizing that, and be forgiving of yourself, because we all go through that sometimes. But I feel like, yeah, I mean, you're coming in to this time period and you're really thinking about things, and that makes sense to me because we do have Mercury in Scorpio trine Neptune and Pisces on the 15th. And while this could be definitely about creativity, being all amped up, this is also a space where many of us are going to be looking and questioning our everyday routines and really feeling pushed to make different choices right now. This could be like, why am I in this relationship again? Or am I getting what I need from this relationship? Evaluating your job, evaluating the choices that you've made in your life up to this point, really, and whatever that means to you, because this is a general reading. Now, the person or situation that you were dealing with, that you're going to be dealing with during this time, this is their past, is the King of Swords energy. So King of Swords, swords are truth and words and ideas and framing reality, right? So, and this is a very strong energy. It comes in as masculine, though it's not gender specific, obviously. But it's this aggressiveness of coming in and saying, this is how things should be done. I know that this is how things should be done. Now, this could be somebody who was maybe a little controlling, a little strong with their words. We often find this energy with the King of Swords. And this may be where you were like, I don't know if this is really working for me. I'm really not, like, they're coming in and they kind of want to own the town. They're not even asking me how I think, feel, or what I want out of this. And they're just coming and trying to own the town. But this is very much, they felt, whoever this is, person or situation is, there's an element of confidence regarding them in the past. So coming into the present, for you, we have the Six of Pentacles. I love this card because this is about support. Pentacles is about way more than money and way more than resources. It's about mental connection, physical connection, emotional connection, and it is how we do relationships, right? So it's having what we need or being able to give others what they need. So, Scorpio, I do feel like you're in this super positive space right now, especially with the sun here. And if you haven't totally arrived there yet, obviously, guys, it does depend on what else is in our charts. Your sun sign is only one room in a very big house, right? But I am getting that the archetype of Scorpio is kind of in this space where realizations are going on and you feel really pretty good in your skin. But I'm getting a sense that there's a level of, how do I say this, where you almost feel isolated. You feel misunderstood. You're feeling very comfortable in the choices and the choices that you're making at this point. But I'm getting that many of you are feeling very, misunderstood. Misunderstood, and therefore, you feel like you have what's necessary to bring to the table to get it done, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a situation in your family, it doesn't matter. But you knowing in your heart that you have what it takes to do the right thing, and it's like no one else is seeing what you're seeing, And then for this person, a situation we have that you're dealing with, we do have the Death card, and it's very Scorpionic energy, so interesting to me, because the Death is all about endings and beginnings, right? Yeah, it's okay, it's a death, okay? But then look, we have the Pope and we have the Sun. So this is all about beginnings, guys. It's death of something and beginnings. So this is telling me, you know what? You realizing, like, how it's been up to this point, it can't continue. Them realizing it can't continue. Them realizing that you're not going to allow it to continue. I'm sorry, I feel awkward with the phone, so forgive me if I'm like wonking out here with the cards. But yes, something is definitely on their part. Right now, they feel the ending of something. They feel the ending of a cycle with you. And there is an ending of a cycle with you. I am feeling here for sure. Okay. Now, in your mindset, this is why I'm guessing, because in your mindset, we have the Tower reverse. So this is in your mind. Now, this can be in reality, but it's at the very least in your mindset. And the reverse only means that you're having all kinds of feelings about this. There could be bitterness, there could be anger, there could be betrayal, there could be resentment, you know, depending on the situation, obviously. But the Tower is the breaking down of something that we once at one time believed to be very firm and true, right? And really solid, right? Towers aren't supposed to fall down. But at the same time, Scorpio, I am feeling, just because of this crowning energy and because we have that Magician reverse, the Tower can also be the breaking down of outdated ideas and ideals, an outdated way we frame reality, an outdated way of thinking. You know, what you think people should do for you in relationships, what you think you should be doing for people in relationships, what you think you should be doing at a job or for your family, right? This comes up a lot with family, where, you know, is how I've been conducting myself the right thing for me and my ultimate good? And actually, is it even the right thing for them in the long run, you know? Because the codependency issues, are you enabling somebody to do something that's maybe not the best for them? You know, this comes in all kinds of forms, but it could certainly be, at the very least, you recognizing that you're changing. You're realizing this in the biggest way. And I'm getting this because there is absolutely so many changes going on within the energy that you have. I just want to take a really quick second to just weave in a couple of aspects that I want to just mention. On the 19th, we're going to have Mercury in Scorpio sextile Pluto in Capricorn. So it's a lot of deep conversations, lots of breakthroughs, lots of like, well, you're not showing up the way I need, or, you know, something's not happening the way it was presented to me, right? But the conversation's going to happen, and the power of persuasion can very easily be very strong right here, where conversations from the past can circle back around and bring really good results during this energy. And then the next day, on the 20th, we have Venus in Scorpio sextile Saturn in Capricorn. And this is going to really encourage successful negotiations and relationships, which is awesome. Solutions are going to be found. And it's almost going to be obvious what needs to be done, for the good or for the not so good. For the good and not so good. It does, you know, but the bottom line is it's like better out than in, kind of is what I'm saying here. So I do feel like that's going to end up happening, because the person or situation that you're dealing with, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is willingness. This is them coming in and saying, all right, I am really ready to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. But the thing is, with the Knight of Wands, Scorpio, we really have to be careful. Really, I think with all the Knight energies, we really want to make sure that their actions match their words, you know, because, you know, words are very sweet and all of that, but we really want to look at the actions too and the follow through. And I feel like you're paying very close attention to this, because in one way or another, you have like checked out from where things have been up to now, you know, just kind of checking out, you know, yeah. And as far as your fear is the world's reverse. I don't blame you. The world reverse is still a very positive card, even in the reverse, but it's a sense of delay. Is the sense of delay here, and there's a sense of you needing to reevaluate your past choices up until now, which is exactly what we've been talking about, and figuring out where you need to make changes to turn this card upright, because you know intuitively you have everything you need to make that happen. But right now there's a very strong sense of delay here. And I'm getting that and you're afraid that it's not going to happen, right? That's your fear. And then look at what their fear is. The Two of Cups reverse. They're fearing that you are the shadow sides of your personality. You're going to end up ruling the day. And you guys are not going to have a meeting of the minds where you're able to really share in that heart space because of past issues that haven't been resolved. And this is where I say, this is what we really need to have, these conversations. All of us need to have these conversations, all of us, you know, and we have a lot of really cool supportive energies to have relationship conversations. And I am saying, listen, relationships really are ruling ruling a lot of the readings. Sometimes they get more for work, sometimes they don't. But listen, I mean, just because of the Libra and aspects within your sign, it's relationship stuff. You know, so look, on the 21st, we have a really good thing going on. Venus and Scorpio, trine Neptune and Pisces. This is amping up the romance and emotions. Sex will be and feel very different during this aspect, very deepening, very transformative, or even transitioning for those of you who are in a space of, you know, this maybe isn't the right thing for me anymore. It definitely depends on, you know, on what your situation is. And those of you not in any sort of intimate relationship, you're going to begin to see and feel the vibes in your friendships deepening and changing, even with your coworkers, you know. I mean, this is definitely happening here. And then on the 25th, we have Venus and Scorpio sextile Pluto and Capricorn. So we go from quirky Neptune, you know, into this sextile, which is about intense romantic or financial connections or breakthroughs in love or money or both. So we have a lot of like really good stuff. And I feel like you feel it, because this world reverse is like you feel it's right there, but this person is not exactly in that space with you. Yeah, so let's see what's going on. Let's see what's blocking you. What's blocking this from happening, okay? And again, like I said before, when we're talking about blockages could be like, it could be a third party, but I'm not getting that at all here. I'm just not to say that that's not your story. My sage keeps falling down, okay? Let me just take it off. Not to say that that's not your situation, but it could certainly be like an in-law, a child, something going on with your work, you know, something external to your situation. Could be an actual physical block, or it could even be the person you're dealing with, because we can only control ourselves. They're just not, you know, coming to the table in the way that they're supposed to be, you know. Blockages for Scorpio, person or situation that they're dealing with, please, Spirit. Our cute little Halloween deck. Such a cute deck. Let's see what's on the bottom. Look. See, Ace of Ghosts, Ace of Cups. It's the bottom energy. All right, let's see what the blockages are. Knight of Bats. They have 10 of Ghosts is their blockage. Okay. Knight of Bats, Knight of Swords. So this is in your blockage, yeah. So I have a feeling that, you know, somebody is coming in saying things that you just are really, you're just not believing them. You're having a really hard time believing people in your life right now. Not everyone, but there's definitely someone in one area of your life. If it's not your partner, it's someone in work or someone in your family. You're having a hard time buying what they're trying to sell you. And this is an issue for you in moving forward, okay? And you can't control that. You really can't, but I feel like you don't have all the information on something. Now, the person or situation you're dealing with, they have the 10 of Ghosts, which is the 10 of Cups, which is beautiful, except this is their blockage, and they feel that they're not going to have this ultimate attainment with you. They feel that this is something that they're not able to get to right now, and it's really frustrating them. I feel like that there's a real lack of communication here. And then we have the 9 of Imps for another blockage for you, which is the 9 of Swords, which is, you know, listen, you've been through it. You are in a space of, you know, in the very regular Rider-Waite, this is the guy's, the character, like the bandage over his head, looking like he got beat up a little bit. You see a little spot of blood on there. So this is about you just realizing, like, you know what? I've really been through it, and I don't want to go through it anymore. I've been through so much in my life up to this point, and I'm just ready for change. I'm just not willing to go down that path anymore. I want to stay in the new lane that I'm in, and I can't do it. I'm not doing it anymore. So the blockage here is your willingness to actually re-engage in something that you know is not ultimately healthy for you, which I think is awesome. Okay? And in their blockage, we have the Empress. So the Empress, listen, you know, The Empress is the mother of the tarot. This is all about making things happen and creating foundations and planting seeds and cultivating and growing things together. And this is in their blockage. They feel like they can't attain and grow with you, that there's something blocking. There is this huge third thing. I feel like it's this third thing. And when I say third thing, I don't mean a third party. It could be, but I don't feel like that. I just feel like it's this like 500-pound elephant in the room. 5,000-pound elephant. 500 would be very low, right? It's this thing. It's this thing that you guys are not talking about, Scorpio. Or if you're talking about it, it's like I feel like you're talking around it. I don't know. Like I just feel like you guys are talking around things. Okay, so those are your blockages. I'm going to pull more on that, but I want to check out your outcomes first because I pulled 3 outcomes for you. So we have the Knight of Imps, which is the Knight of Wands, Queen of Bats, which is the Queen of Swords. Those are reversed. Well, these are all reversed. And then we have the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay. So basically, this is telling me that you're ready to put the swords down. You're ready to end this cycle. You really are. You're ready to end this cycle. And I'm getting the reason you're looking to end this cycle, or ready mentally to end this cycle, is because you do not believe, because the Queen of Bats is swords, and swords are truth, and in the reverse it means deceit, it means lies. So this is telling me that either you or the person you're dealing with, in the end, you're not really being honest with yourself about, is this right for you or not? You're not being honest with them, or you feel like they're not being honest with you, and it's really killing your desire to move forward, right? Because we have this King of Imps, which is the King of Wands up in reverse, right? The Knight of Wands in reverse. So again, Wands are will, and in reverse, it shows delay and a lack of willingness. So I'm getting that there was some dishonesty along the way, that you felt mistreated along the way, and that because of that, you just don't have the willingness in your outcome energy to move on. But I have to tell you what I'm getting. I have to tell you that I think this is very surface. I know I'm going to get a clap back for this, like, hell no, I'm done with him and all of that, or her, and she was horrible and whatever. But I feel like this is very surface, like, I'm not doing this anymore kind of thing, very surface. I'm going to go a little deeper to see what other messages we get. That's why I wanted to look at the outcome first. So let's check out their outcome. Page of Pentacles, Page of Pumpkins, 9 of Pentacles, Ace of Bats. Okay, listen. This person wants to come in with an idea and really try to make things right, because they want this ultimate attainment with you with this 9 of Pumpkins, and they want to have this fresh start with you. The Page of Pumpkins is a Page of Pentacles, right? And again, Pentacles is how we do connection. It's how we do connection in relationship. And the Page is not a brand spanking new energy. It's one that's admittedly immature, but wants to try, right? Wants to try. And this is what I'm getting here. But I'm getting that you're like, they're like, all right, let's do this and let's try this. And you're like, you know what? No, I'm like done with you. I'm like 12 ways done with you. And they're like, no, wait a minute. And let's talk about this. Let's rethink this. You're wrong about what you're thinking. See, and I feel like the dishonesty you might be feeling, listen, it could be, I don't know who you're dealing with, for some of you. And, I'm always careful with that word narcissist, because I think it's overused, but we have to admit there are certain traits that could show up. Without a person being a narcissist, there are certain traits that people, you don't have to be a narcissist to gaslight somebody. You know what I mean? That's just a very ugly quality in a person, where maybe they're saying, well, you shouldn't feel like this, or I didn't really do that, or I think you're misunderstanding that, or, maybe you did misunderstand them. Who knows? But the bottom line here is that they're really trying to make things right in their own way, if this is resonating with you. This is somebody who is not, look, the energies could be flipped always, right, in tarot? But Spirit, give me 3 cards. Give me 3 cards to clarify Scorpio's blockages. 3 cards. Clarify Scorpio's blockages. Okay, that makes sense. All right, Scorpio, I mean, you know, the reasoning behind you feeling that somebody's coming in and just saying what they want and you not feeling willing is because you feel that they have somehow violated some sort of moral code where, you know, they're just not doing the right thing right now. They're making bad choices because the Hierophant reverse, the Hierophant upright is all about, you know, morality and really doing the right thing. And in the reverse, it's, you know, really kind of making some very bad choices. And now I'm getting that that is what's blocking you. Now listen, this could be them doing that, Scorpio, or it could certainly be you. It could certainly be that, you know, up until this point, the blockages you've been experiencing have been because of how you've been framing reality. And I do feel like you're in a space, though, of coming to terms with that for many of you. Okay, others of you are dealing with this energy external from you, but it's an energy involved in this nonetheless. Then we have the Hangman reverse, which is all about thinking about everything from a very like panoramic, you know, viewpoint, kind of seeing everything. But in the reverse, it's typically making yourself more of a victim in a situation rather than the victor in a situation. And it's making excuses for people that you shouldn't be making excuses for, okay? People making excuses where they shouldn't be making excuses in general, and you identifying this, okay? And then we have the Lover's reverse, which is the shadow side of our personality coming out in a close connection or relationship. And this is where we are not able to have these open and healthy conversations. It's a real challenge, right? This is a real challenge. And I am feeling very much a sense of restlessness from you in these blockages. And that makes sense to me, especially because on October 28th, we do have that sun in you, Scorpio, opposing Uranus and Taurus. And that's about bringing restlessness and sleeplessness and anxiety. But what I'm feeling here is you're going to be struck by a very sudden, out of the blue, out of nowhere insight that's going to end up shifting your path. It's going to end up shifting your lens and how you view life, Scorpio. There's a shift in how you view life here. It's very internal, too. It's very internal. Let's get some more cards for Scorpio as far as these outcomes go. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Scorpio. I mean, you're going to feel very confused. You know, because Two of Pentacles is about, you know, knowing that you need to decide between two people, two paths, two jobs, two something. It's very in your emotions, but I feel like that at this point in the outcome, you're almost not even thinking through beyond a certain point because you feel like you've had it. You really have. You don't want to deal with any sort of manipulation in your life anymore, Strength reverse. You don't want to feel like you want to deal with any egos that have gone crazy. You know what you want, and you don't feel that this person is going to be able to bring you your ultimate attainment and happiness with this Nine of Pentacles reverse. You know exactly what you need in this King of Cups energy. You know what's necessary for commitment, for happiness, for love, for connection. You know what's necessary. You do know, okay? But you have checked out of whatever situation you've been in. I mean, you have mentally checked out a long time ago. Not even a long time ago, but I feel like you have recently checked out of the situation. But you don't really know what that means, because then we have the Hermit reverse, and this is a very pensive energy. And when we get the Hermit reverse, it means that you're really seeking your own counsel, which means that you're not very communicative about what's going on inside of you to the people around you. So, the advice always here when we have this in reverse is turn it upright and work the upright version of the Hermit, which is basically still taking that mental space, but thinking through things with clarity so that you can really, in a clear and responsible way, get your thoughts together about what your next step should be, okay? But I just feel like, Scorpio, for some of you, All right, for all of you, there is a situation in your life right now that has to go. So for those of you who are in really good relationships right now, think about your work, think about your friendships, think about other things in your life. For those of you where this applies to relationships, I'm kind of getting two narratives. One is whatever's been going on up to now is not going to continue regardless. Some of you are going to be making the choice to end it and move on to something better for yourself, okay? Something that's really going to bring you what you're looking for. Others of you are just going to be working on figuring out this relationship, I feel, and that's why I have to pull, I definitely have to pull some cards. Okay, hello. Oh, look, 2 of Cups. Okay, I like that. Oh, look, Ace of Wands. Okay, I like this. Bottom of the deck, we have the Fool, and we have Justice. All right, so going a little deeper, because remember I said before that outcome felt surface to me? We're going a little deeper. I don't feel like you want a total ending to this situation or with this person, Scorpio. I mean, again, general reading, some of you are going to be like, oh, hell no, I'm done with that, okay? But I don't feel like that. I'm not getting that. I have to tell you what I'm getting. I am getting that conversations definitely need to happen, for sure. Okay? And the thing is, any decision that's made in this 2 of Cup energy is going to impact the future of your relationship. And this is very, very, very necessary. And the reason I like this for this time is because on the 31st, we have Mercury retrograde at 27 degrees of you, back to 11 degrees of you. Okay? So it's not going to be going direct until November 20th, not out of shadow until December 8th. So we're going to be dealing with this revisiting of the past kind of thing, where everything's going to feel kind of turned inward and backwards. So I like this when we're talking about fixing things in relationships, because there could be arguments, miscommunication, misunderstandings, but the other side of it is going to be this ability to press the pause button and be able to effectively revisit issues that have been growing in the relationship up to this point. It's that pause space that Mercury provides us with, that we're able to figure those things out. And I just feel like, Scorpio, that once you have this conversation, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy, there's going to be this Ace of Wands energy, which is about a new beginning and a new motivation to start a new chapter together. And even if you're not feeling completely comfortable, the energy is supporting for you to take the chance. Because the Fool is all about taking a calculated risk, weighing it out, knowing that you don't have all the answers, and just being okay with that. And being willing and ready to take that risk. But you are not going to have any of that unless justice is shown to you. Not told to you, shown to you. So I do feel like there is a little bit of proving that needs to go on, a little bit of reestablishing of trust for different issues. I mean, it could be over anything. You know, something with your family, something with a third party, something where maybe there was lying through omission or just not telling the whole truth, whatever it is. But the scales need to be pulled out. Right? Is everybody showing up to the table in the way that they need to show up for this relationship? Let's look at resources. Let's look at, you know, how are you connecting emotionally and psychologically and even physically, you know? This is the conversation of, you know, is our sex life what I want? Is our communication what needs to be? Where it needs to be for us to be successful, you know, really looking at all of that. You know, do we have the resources that we need to grow this thing together? It's having that conversation, and I really do feel like you guys are going to be having that conversation. So Spirit, please provide me with a yes/no card for Scorpio. Is this person or situation that has been thought about throughout this reading, is this going to end the way Scorpio would like? Is this going to end the way Scorpio would like? I don't read reversals, just a heads up in yes/no cards. You're going to have a lot of arguing. There is going to be gaslighting going on. I'm telling you right now, Scorpio. There's going to be conflict and gaslighting with that 7 of Swords, that trickster gaslighting energy. And you're just going to be really thinking, like, do I really want to do this? And you're just going to be feeling like you don't have all of the information. But at the same time, you are ultimately, I do feel like you're going to feel willing to give it a shot, because you know that ultimately you guys can find in the end a sense of stability. Yeah. The Emperor is the final outcome. Beautiful. This is about you guys doing what needs to be done to fix it. Now, listen, I do have to say, if you know that this is done, the Emperor can also be the energy that you need to say, I'm done with you. This is not good for me. Right? Because there is conflict, there is gaslighting here, there is a lack of knowing the whole story somewhere. There is this desire for you to have this justice sought out. So, you know, that means that there's distrust on the other side of that. And we're all so different in how we process, right? And this is a general message, but I do want to tell you that the ultimate energy really is supporting the conversations. And if you feel like you're with a person who can end up working this out with you, this can be worked out. But you have to be honest with yourself, right? And honest about the situation. Because if you know that they're just not capable, the energy supports you leaving this and ending up so much better off with that crowning sun energy. Yeah. All right, Scorpio, that is what I have for you. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.